Good evening and welcome to our global news roundup. Tonight, we cut through the noise to bring you the top 10 stories shaping our world. The US-China trade war is intensifying, marking a new chapter in the ongoing economic and technological rivalry between the world's two largest economies. Tensions have been simmering for years, but recent developments have brought the conflict to a boiling point, with both sides taking increasingly aggressive measures to protect their interests and assert dominance on the global stage. The latest flashpoint centers on the US government's decision to impose sweeping new restrictions on the sale of advanced artificial intelligence chips to China. These chips, which are at the heart of cutting-edge technologies, are now subject to strict export controls, making it much harder for Chinese companies to access the hardware they need for innovation and growth. These advanced semiconductors are not just crucial for powering supercomputers and data centers, they're also essential for military applications, autonomous vehicles, and next-generation robotics. By tightening the flow of these chips, the US aims to slow China's progress in key sectors, but the move also risks disrupting global supply chains and technological collaboration. In response, China has strongly condemned the US actions, with government officials vowing to retaliate through their own set of countermeasures. The threat of tit-for-tat restrictions has sent shockwaves through international markets, raising concerns about the stability of global trade and the potential for widespread supply chain disruptions that could impact everything from electronics to automobiles. The fallout is already being felt by major multinational companies. Tesla, which relies heavily on its operations and sales in China, saw its stock price tumble in the wake of the announcement. This sharp decline underscores just how interconnected the world's economies have become and how vulnerable they are to geopolitical tensions. As this high-stakes standoff continues to unfold, the world is watching closely. The outcome could reshape the future of technology, trade, and international relations for years to come. We'll keep you updated with the latest developments as this dramatic story evolves. Sudan's brutal civil war has plunged the nation into chaos, with violence erupting in cities and villages alike. The relentless fighting has left entire neighborhoods in ruins, forcing families to abandon their homes and everything they once knew. As the conflict rages on, the scale of devastation continues to grow, leaving a trail of destruction and heartbreak across the country. This ongoing war has created a massive humanitarian crisis, displacing millions of innocent people. Families are on the move, carrying what little they can salvage, searching for safety in overcrowded camps or makeshift shelters. Many have walked for days, braving dangerous roads and uncertainty just to escape the violence. The sheer number of people forced from their homes is staggering, and the needs are overwhelming. Over 15 million people now require urgent humanitarian assistance. Food, clean water, and medical care are in short supply. Aid workers are doing their best to provide relief, distributing food and water to long lines of children and families. Emergency supplies are stretched thin, and every day, more people arrive in desperate need of help. Yet despite the dire situation, the international response has fallen far short of what's needed. Aid convoys are often blocked at checkpoints, and many supply trucks never reach their destinations. Humanitarian workers face immense challenges, from security risks to bureaucratic obstacles, making it nearly impossible to deliver life-saving assistance to those who need it most. Funding appeals from the United Nations and aid organizations remain unmet, leaving critical programs under-resourced. Empty donation boxes and urgent banners highlight the gap between what is needed and what has been provided. Without increased support, millions will continue to suffer, and the crisis will only deepen. The world must not turn away from Sudan's suffering. Every day, children and families face hunger, disease, and fear. Global awareness and action are urgently needed to bring hope and relief to those caught in the crossfire. It is a moral imperative to stand with Sudan and demand immediate action. We will continue to spotlight this crisis, amplify the voices of those affected, and push for a peaceful resolution. Only through collective effort and compassion can we help Sudan move toward a future free from violence and despair. NATO's Mark Rutte visited Odessa after a deadly Russian missile strike killed at least 12 civilians. His visit underscores NATO's support for Ukraine amid ongoing threats. Talks with President Zelensky will focus on military aid and NATO membership. We're monitoring developments as Ukraine prepares for a major counteroffensive. Global markets have been thrown into turmoil as escalating trade tensions between the United States and China combined with mounting economic uncertainty, send shockwaves through financial centers worldwide. Investors are grappling with heightened volatility, as fears of a prolonged trade war and its impact on global growth weigh heavily on sentiment. The ripple effects are being felt across continents, with major indices experiencing sharp declines and market participants bracing for further turbulence. Technology stocks, which have been at the forefront of recent market gains, are now leading the downturn. Companies like Nvidia saw their shares tumble dramatically, reflecting investor concerns about the future of the semiconductor industry and the broader tech sector. The sell-off intensified after warnings of significant revenue losses due to new restrictions on chip exports, sparking fears of supply chain disruptions. As uncertainty grows, many investors are seeking refuge in traditional safe havens. Gold prices surged to record highs, underscoring the flight to safety amid the chaos. Meanwhile, persistent inflation and rising interest rates continue to erode consumer confidence and corporate profits. The ongoing war in Ukraine adds another layer of complexity, fueling geopolitical risks and further destabilizing markets already on edge. In this rapidly changing environment, we'll bring you in-depth analysis from leading experts, breaking down the latest developments and what they could mean for the global economy. Stay with us as we explore how these dramatic shifts may affect your investments, your savings, and your financial future, and offer practical advice on navigating these uncertain times. The Biden administration imposed tariffs up to 245% on Chinese imports, escalating the trade war. Targeted goods include electronics, machinery, and auto parts, affecting billions in trade. China has retaliated, further straining global supply chains and fueling inflation. These tariffs complicate cooperation on global issues like climate change. We'll analyze the economic impact in the coming days. Hong Kong suspended all U.S. parcel shipments in response to new U.S. tariffs. As a key logistics hub, this move disrupts businesses and consumers on both sides of the Pacific. Small businesses and online shoppers face delays and higher costs. The suspension highlights the global ripple effects of trade wars. Singapore's Prime Minister dissolved parliament, triggering elections next month. The long-ruling PAP is expected to win, but new opposition parties and younger voters could shift the landscape. The outcome will shape Singapore's future as a regional financial hub. We'll follow the campaign and key issues closely. Thousands marched in Amsterdam in solidarity with Palestinians amid renewed Middle East violence. The protest, part of a Europe-wide movement, remained mostly peaceful. Demonstrators called for an end to the occupation and greater accountability. These protests reflect growing frustration with international inaction. We'll continue to cover developments in the region and their global impact. An American missionary held captive in South Africa has been released. Details remain scarce, with the family requesting privacy. Kidnappings for ransom are on the rise in the region, targeting both locals and foreigners. The release is a rare positive outcome for aid workers in volatile areas. We'll update you as more information becomes available. Donald Trump, now in the private sector, signed an executive order for his companies to negotiate lower drug prices. While largely symbolic, it challenges the Biden administration's approach to big pharma. Trump also threatened Harvard's tax-exempt status, escalating his feud with the university. We'll track the fallout and its impact on U.S. policy debates. That's it for our global news roundup. Stay informed, stay engaged, and subscribe for more updates. We'll keep bringing you the stories that matter.